Hello students, good morning to everyone. Welcome back to our online session. Here we are continuing our second unit, that is entrepreneurial opportunities and selection process. In this, till now you have seen that first point, product or service selection. In that, various key concepts like process, core competence, product or service life cycle, new product or service development process, mortality curve, creativity and innovation in product or service modification development. The second point is process selection. In that, we have seen technology life cycle, forms and cost of transformation, factors affecting process selection, location for an industry and material handling. And today we are going to continue third point, that is market study procedures. Now the question is that what is market study procedure? Market study procedure is nothing but the market research process. It is a systematic methodology for informing business decisions. There are various points related to this, that is questionnaire design, sampling, market survey and data analysis related to market study. Now we will see each point in detail. This first point, questionnaire design. The first one question is define questionnaire. What is questionnaire? It is a systematic data collection technique, consists of series of questions required to be answered by the respondents to identify their attitude, experience and behavior towards the subject of research. One of the most critical parts of the survey is the creation of questions that must be framed in such a way that it results in obtaining the desired information from the respondents. There are no scientific principles that assure an ideal questionnaire, and in fact the questionnaire design is the skill which is learned through experience. Here you can see the steps involved in the questionnaire design process. These are the various steps. The first one is specify the information needed. What is that? The first and the foremost step in the designing the questionnaire is to specify the information needed from the respondents such that the objective of the survey is fulfilled. The researcher must completely review the components of the problem, particularly the hypothesis, research question and the information needed. The second one step is define the target respondent. At the very outset, the researcher must identify the target respondent from whom the information is to be collected. The question must be designed keeping in mind the type of respondents under study, such as the questions that are appropriate for serviceman might not be appropriate for businessman. The less diversified respondent group shall be selected because the more diversified the group is, the more difficult it will be to design a single questionnaire that is appropriate for the entire group. This is about defining the target respondent. The next one step is specify the type of interviewing method. In that it is the next step to identify the way in which the respondents are reached. In personal interviews, the respondent is presented with a questionnaire and interacts face to face with the interviewer. Thus, lengthy, complex and varied questions can be asked using the personal interview method. In telephone interviews, the respondent is required to give answers to the questions over the telephone. Here, the respondent cannot see the questionnaire and hence this method restricts the use of small, simple and precise questions. The questionnaire can be sent through mail or post. It should be self-explanatory and contain all the important information such that the respondent is able to understand every question and gives a complete response. The electronic questionnaires are sent directly to the mail IDs of the respondents and are required to give answers online. Now we will see the next step, that is determine the content of individual questions. In that, once the information needed is specified and the interviewing methods are determined, the next step is to decide the content of the questions. The researcher must decide on what should be included in the question such that it contribute to the information needed or serve some specific purpose. In some situations, the indirect questions which are not directly related to the information needed may be asked. It is useful to ask neutral questions at the beginning of the questionnaire with intent to establish respondents' involvement and rapport. This is mainly done when the subject of questionnaire is sensitive or controversial. The researcher must try to avoid the use of double-barreled questions, a question that talks about two issues simultaneously, such as is the real juice tasty and a refreshing health drink, like this way. The next one step is overcome respondents' inability and unwillingness to answer. The researcher should not presume that the respondent can provide accurate responses to all the questions. He must attempt to overcome the respondent's inability to answer. The questions must be designed in a simple and easy language such that it is easily understood by each respondent. In situations where the respondent is not at all informed about the topic of interest, then the researcher may ask the filter questions, an initial question asked in the questionnaire to identify the prospective respondents to ensure that they fulfill the requirements of the sample. Despite being able to answer the question, the respondent is unwilling to devote time in providing information. The researcher must attempt to understand the reason behind such unwillingness and design the questionnaire in such a way that it helps in retaining the respondent's attention. Now, the next one step is decide on the question structure. As the name suggests, the researcher must decide on the structure of questions to be included in the questionnaire. The question can be structured or unstructured. The unstructured questions are the open-ended questions which are answered by the respondents on their own words. These questions are also called as free response or free answer questions, while the structured questions are called as closed-ended questions that pre-specify the response alternatives. These questions could be multiple choice questions like yes, no type and so on. Now we will see the next step, that is determine the question wording. The desired question content and structure must be translated into words which are easily understood by the respondents. At this stage, the researcher must translate the questions in easy words such that the information received from the respondents is similar to what was intended. In case the question is written poorly, then the respondent might refuse to answer it or might give a wrong answer. In case the respondent is reluctant to give answers, then non-response arises, which increases the complexity of data analysis. On the other hand, if the wrong information is given, then response error arises, due to which the result is biased. Next one is determine the order of questions. At this step, the researcher must decide the sequence in which the questions are to be asked. The opening questions are crucial in establishing respondents' involvement and rapport, and therefore these questions must be interesting, non-threatening, and easy. Usually the open-ended questions which ask respondents for their opinions are considered as good opening questions because people like to express their opinions. Next one is identify the form and layout. The format, positioning and spacing of questions has a significant effect on the results. The layout of questionnaire is specified important for the self-administered questionnaires. The questionnaires must be divided into several parts, and each part shall be numbered accurately and clearly define the branches of question. Next one is reproduction of questionnaire. Here we talk about the appearance of the questionnaire, that is the quality of paper on which the questionnaire is either written or printed. In case the questionnaire is reproduced on a poor quality paper, then the respondent might feel the research is unimportant, due to which the quality of response gets adversely affected. Thus, it is recommended to reproduce the questionnaire on a good quality paper having a professional appearance. In case the questionnaire has several pages, then it should be presented in the form of booklet rather than the sheets clipped or stapled together. And the last one stage is pre-testing. That is testing the questionnaires on a few selected respondents or small sample of actual respondents with a purpose of improving the questionnaire by identifying and eliminating the potential problems. All the aspects of the questionnaire must be tested, such as question content, structure, wording, sequence, form and layout, instructions and questions difficulty. The researcher must ensure that the respondents in the pre-test should be similar to those who are to be finally surveyed. Thus, the questionnaire design is a multi-stage process that requires the researcher's attention to many details. This is all about the questionnaire design. Using the following stages, you can design the questionnaire as you required or as per your need. Now the second one thing is sampling. What is sampling? In market research, sampling means getting opinion from the number of people chosen from a specific group in order to find out about the whole group. Let's have a look at sampling in more detail and discuss the most popular types of sampling used in the market research. It would be expensive and time consuming to collect data from the whole population of a market. Therefore, market researchers make extensive of sampling from which through careful design and analysis, marketers can draw information about their chosen market. Or you can say sampling is the process of surveying a small group of extrapolating their responses to a larger group. Instead of surveying every member of population what products or services they prefer, you can use sample size calculator to determine how many responses are needed from a group to obtain valid data at a particular confidence level and sampling error. Market research would not be possible without sampling, as it's impossible to access every customer, whether current or future. Market researchers depend on various sampling techniques and methods to try and capture as a wide range as possible the various types of customers a client is hoping to glean feedback from. Sampling having two types, probability and non-probability. Probability sampling methods allows all members of a target population to be included in the sample and is not encumbered by previous events in the selection process. Put another way, the selection of individuals for a sample group does not affect the chance of anyone else's targeted population to be selected. In that there are four types: simple random sampling, systematic sampling, cluster sampling, and stratified sampling. And exactly opposite to that, non-probability sampling methods are less desirable and often contain sampling biases. This is all about the sampling. Now the next point is market survey. The process of gathering, analyzing and interpreting information about a market, about a product or service to be offered for sale in the market, and about the past, present and potential customers for the product or service. Research into the characteristics, spending habits, location and needs of your business target market and industry as a whole and the particular competitors you face is nothing but market survey. Are you getting the definition of market survey? If yes, then we will move further. Accurate and true information is the foundation of all successful business ventures because it provides a wealth of information about prospective and existing customers, the competition and the industry in general. It allows business owners to determine the feasibility of a business before committing substantial resources to the venture. Market research, that is market survey, provides relevant data to help solve marketing challenges that a business will most likely face, an integral part of business planning process. In fact, strategies such as market segmentation and product differentiation are impossible to develop without market research. Or you can say market survey is nothing but the study of the spending characteristic and purchasing power of the customer who are within your business geographic area of operation. A research methods for defining the market parameters of business is nothing but market survey. Now we will see steps to successful market survey. There are few steps which are useful for successful market survey. The first one is set a clear goal. Start by setting a clear objective when starting your market research and survey. In that, it includes why are you doing the survey? Next one is what do you want to find out? Next, it is for product improvements with an existing audience. Are you looking to launch a new product into the marketplace and therefore needed to know if there is sufficient demand? What people are prepared to pay for it? These are some questionnaires while setting the clear goal. Be precise about the outcomes you are seeking in order to get the answers you need for your marketing plans moving forward. Now the second step is know what target market to survey. This starts with knowing which market you are targeting. Identify parameters for potential customers such as people living or working in a certain region, market size, or those that fit a particular demographic. Use regional data to attain precise information about the target audience whose data you need and narrow it down to the support your ultimate goal. If you want to build on your customer offering by introducing a priority service, for example, you may just want to gather information from people living in a certain area or earning over a certain amount. Now the next step is know what you want to investigate. This will be informed by your marketing goals. If you are launching a product, for example, you may want to investigate what the demand is, how aware people are of it, if they currently buy from a competitor, and how frequently they buy. Knowing what you want to investigate will help you identify what sort of information you need. Think about whether a qualitative or quantitative approach works best. Whichever you choose, the aim is the same, to quantify consumer perceptions, behaviors, and attitudes in the most informative way possible. Next one is get help from people who know surveys. This means getting access to an established panel by turning the experts in market survey data. You can ensure you ask the right questions to right people and get a sample size that gives you the most accurate insights. The Global Web Index panel stretches across 46 countries representing over 2 billion internet users, making this the world's leading market survey on the digital consumer. Next one step is consider the best way to get your answers. No longer exclusive to phone survey and focus groups, surveys can now be carried out either via an interview or an online questionnaire. Market surveys can also be carried out in group or on an individual basis. Once again, the optimum approach for your brand will depend on your goals and the information you are trying to capture, as well as your target audience, market potential, and their overall preferences. If you want to gather in-depth information from moms of toddlers in a particular town, for example, face-to-face interviews in the vicinity of a play area might work well, allowing the interviews to do the hard work and ask follow-up questions that dig a little deeper. Next one is administer the survey effectively. Once you are clear about your goals, the data you need, the people you need to talk, and the best way to gather this survey data, it's important to maximize the sample size. This means reaching people at the right time, setting a realistic time frame for them to share their thoughts, and identifying where they are likely to be. Once again, think about your target audience. If you are physically interacting with people, think about the places they are likely to visit and at what times. If it is an online market survey, understand which social media platforms or websites they are likely to hang out on and at what times they tend to be online. Next one stage is conduct a thorough survey analysis. Once you have gathered the market survey responses, these need to be analyzed thoroughly to pull out key trends and findings and to allow you to draw actionable insights from the data. In that, examine qualitative answers from telling codes and detailed feedback about attributes and behaviors. Interrogate quantitative answers to calculate averages. Compare results against global and local data with large-scale market surveys. The now last one step is uncover the wider implications. Conducting a market survey is invaluable to brands, but when carried out in isolation can lack the real-world relevancy to action results with confidence. To get more from your analysis, large-scale market survey data allows you to compare your findings across multiple data points. You can cross-reference with local subgroups and compare against global averages to see clearly where the value truly lies. Till now, I have talked about the all steps in market survey except the last point, data analysis. So today is finally the day when we'll go through the data analysis and will thus close this series about market research. As soon as you have all the data in your hands, start the process of data analysis. It's a stage in market research when qualitative data, quantitative data, or a mixture of both is brought together in order to draw conclusions based on that data. These conclusions then provide enough insights for you to answer your market research questions and validate a new product or service or move on with your existing product or service. Now, what is quantitative data and qualitative data? In quantitative data, it includes what is the total size of your market, what percent share of your market can you potentially have, demographic picture of your potential business to customers, demographic picture of your potential business to business customers, where are your potential leads coming from, and what's the age range. And in qualitative data, it includes what is the current demand in your target market, what are the existing or new customers' values and beliefs, trends in the target market, growth trends in consumer preferences, and trends in product development, growth potential and opportunity for your product business of your size. Usually, statistical testing is used during data analysis. This is being done to estimate the significance of any conclusions to which the researchers have come. If you are conducting market research through qualitative methods, you can still measure the results through data analysis. You just needed to quote results like you would normally do in quantitative data analysis. This form of data analysis is known as content analysis. But before that, let's see what one should do when dealing with quantitative data analysis. The fact is that the amount of data collected through market research can be huge, and the most important thing here is to use data organization and data reduction techniques to compile and assemble the data for insight data interpretation. The data analysis stage in the market research project is the stage when qualitative data, quantitative data, or mixture of both is brought together in order to draw conclusion based on the data. The aim of data analysis is research to discover useful information from set of data and conclusions that can be used from in the next session we will meet with the new point of second unit. Thank you so much.